Well, we got lots of real estate going on here today, and this next conversation is going to continue that conversation because, well, it continues to be real estate's what people are talking about around the water coolers, even if you're not in a real estate office. And a lot of people are getting excited again about the prospect of their house going up in value. Jared Fraser is back with us, real estate agent with Keller Williams with over a decade of experience in real estate and property management. Hello, sir.
Why, thank you. Hello.
Hello. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
What's been going on?
The wife's getting a little bigger. The baby's starting to pop, and another week, we'll find out what it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for?
I don't know if I can say on the air.
I
can make a hand gesture.
I think that was Ben's goal too.
I was like, what do you want? A boy, obviously. I mean, does any new dad not want a boy?
I blame the Major League Baseball. If they let girls play baseball, then I'm happy with a girl.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, all you gotta do is if it is a boy, just make sure you tie that right arm behind his back early.
Yeah, you gotta get him throwing left-handed. I want switch pitcher.
A switch pitcher.
Yeah, it's rare. It's coming around now, though.
Okay, Jared.
Ben's is the football expert.
I don't know anything about baseball. The Mariners lost me a long time ago. Okay, so let's look at the demand in housing real quick in the market because, as we switch from the seller's market to a buyer's market, and it's pretty official now when you look at the numbers. How are you taking people through that?
I've been working with a lot of new buyers recently. And, some of them have been looking for a long time. Some are just starting to look. And there definitely is a change in the market. We definitely are in a seller's market. And it's going to take, that sense of urgency needs to be there for them to be successful in their purchase. As we heard earlier, they might lose a house. They might sit on it for a little too long and then, want to make an offer and then it falls through or they don't even get a chance because multiple offers are coming in. So it's definitely been... We need to get them ready. We need to get them pre-approved. We need to get them, narrow down exactly what they're looking for. The faster we do that, the faster they're confident to put in an offer, the more likely it's going to be accepted and then close.
Yeah. And I mean, do you find that same thing that Lisa was saying would kind of echo? I mean, the conversation with a buyer and the real estate agents really need to play ball.
Yeah. That great communication with the listing agent, as we heard earlier, that's fantastic to find out. But I mean, sometimes I've done that. I've done my due diligence. Hour later, I call, hey, I got that offer together. We've already got 3 other offers, and we're now competing with more people. So it's everything. Everything needs to be added in there. The due diligence of both agents, the buyers need to be ready to act, but you're still in a competing market. You're still trying to beat out multiple offers. I mean, some of them, like we heard, over 10 offers, 6 offers on the same place within a couple hours are coming in. So need to be ready to pull that trigger.
Multiple offers, do you think, is that going to create increasing in prices? I mean, is there just no way around it?
I think it does. I think it does increase. I think it's a good strategy if you're on the selling side of it, just because you get those people who've been maybe burned before and they want to do it, and everybody's testing how much more over they're going to pay for that house over list price, and so it's been creeping up and up and up. And I've been shocked at some of the. I would have thought it maybe would have got $20,000, $30,000 more. They're getting $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 more. So there are buyers out there who probably been through the same complications and they're ready to just buy the house that they want when it comes around, and they're willing to pay that extra price.
It seems like that's not the worst strategy, though, for somebody to know what they want and then kind of be willing to pay for it. I mean, it's what a lot of people do in other parts of this. They don't always feel like they have to get the best deal. They just want the house they want.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is great that we have the buyers now that want to buy, and I don't think they're overspending on these homes. I just think it's a strategy where we're still, these are nice homes that are coming in the market. There's still some distressed homes in the area. Those bring the values down. But once, the word gets out, this is a nice house, and they're trying to get those competing offers, everybody just attacks it, and they put out their final and best offer. You're not even getting chances to even counter in some situations.
What's kind of interesting is, you talk about distressed properties bringing values down. Do you think there's a misconception of what distressed property really means? I mean, distressed property doesn't have to mean there's holes in the roof and the porch is falling. This is more of a financially distressed issue, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, the house can be perfectly fine. Typically, they might need a little bit of work, but minor, carpet, paint, nothing like, like you said, holes in the wall. It's not falling apart.
It just seems like such a misleading term almost. Like, oh, the distressed properties they're out there. But you may have distressed properties across the street. You have no idea how distressed they are.
Yeah, I guess it is a misleading
Other than the
term.
Foreclosure note on the door, but hey.
Yeah, but when people see, like some of my buyers who are actually looking for distressed property or, the trying to get the cheaper deal, those cheaper deals they've been chasing for so long are starting to slip away from them. Like a few months ago, they could have waited. They could have probably got it for under $200,000. Now they're in that range where now the house is up $40,000, $50,000, but it's still a distressed property, but it's now out of their price range. So it's a moving fast time, and everything you got to be ready to go. And
it's still the same house. I mean, that's the other interesting part is when you start transitioning here, and you start thinking about that house hunting mentality. You're still kind of looking for that same thing. It's not like, I try to use an example. I don't know, like jewelry or something. Like if you go shopping for jewelry, you might go, okay, I'm finding, I'm going to go find a wedding ring. Mm-hmm. But if the ring goes up in value, you're still looking for the ring, right?
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is that the intrinsic value of the house doesn't really change. It's still the home you want to move into and raise your kids and cook dinner and eat dinner.
Yeah, the house isn't changing. Yeah,
right. But the values change, and that's a tough thing for somebody to maybe think about because they're not getting any more for it. It's just
it's the
just
market.
More expensive.
It's the market. It's the time. I mean, when we see that in everything, I mean, even food prices change. I mean, it's just the influx of any market changes, and we're starting to see it tick upward. So that's benefiting sellers, hopefully getting them to put more properties on the market. Please put more properties on the market. And the buyers, they're anxious to buy, and the prices are showing that. They're going up, supply and demand. It's a staple of almost everything we do in our lives.
Yeah, by the way, my wedding ring analogy was definitely for guys when it's like, yeah, you're still going to spend like the same amount. It's still going to be worth the same to you.
Yeah, it's a set
totally
value.
Made sense to you, right?
No, I got it. I had a set amount. They all look the same.
Just because they went up in value doesn't mean I'm spending more. That would be silly.
Yes.
So what do? I mean, how would you make sure you're ready with the offer if you find the house that you like?
We're getting the pre-approval letter ahead of time, show that they are financially capable of buying the property. They're just not throwing a number out there. Those letters, those can help sometimes, but it usually does come down to price. And I might say those letters, like the situation of the buyer, they want to buy. But my best tactic is if they want to close that property quickly, whatever we can do to show that we're willing to close that property as soon as possible usually beats out a slightly higher price. So that closing in 30 days versus 60 days with no other contingencies is looking to be more successful.
I imagine a cash offer is big too if you can do that, because there's a misconception that nobody can get financing on a house right now.
I haven't had a situation. Yeah, I mean, cash offers are great. I haven't had it where people aren't getting any financing, but I think there are some caps. I think there are some offers out there that have been over what they can get financing on. They might be able to afford that payment, but I don't think the bank, when we're talking about FHA loans, minimum down payments, they're not going to lend, or it's going to be difficult. You have to really show that house is worth that much more than all the other houses in the neighborhood. Yeah,
you're talking about like the appraised part of that. The appraisal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to offer as much money as you want for a house, but you have to have a lender who's actually going to lend. And I think that will get people hurt, but, we'll put people as offers. If they look unrealistic, then it probably won't happen.
Yeah, it's so different too than just years ago where if people would bid up a house and you just go find the comparables to do it. But now you really, they can only just hopscotch.
Hopscotch?
What do the frogs do when what's the game that
they play
kids
leapfrog.
play? Leapfrog. They can only leapfrog each other.
Yeah. I lost you for a second, but yeah, I got you. It's a good thing. We don't want to see just outrageous prices. I mean, obviously there is some control in that. If we don't want the banks lending on an unrealistic price. But showing the prices are going up, showing that the buyers are buying, we're closing houses faster, maybe not short sales, but we are closing houses faster. That is a good sign of the market that we're in right now.
Well, Jared, thank you for joining us, my man.
Yeah.
And Jared's at startowningrentals.com, jaredfraser.net, and certainly good information. Hey, when we come back, guess what? Heather's going to join us. We're going to continue the conversation on real estate, so stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.